speaking of big balls and the one of my favorite people, honest to God, one of my favorite people on Twitter. He only has like 1,237 followers, but every single one of them love him. We welcome in Patrick Sullivan, PGA professional. Patrick, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are y'all doing?
Outstanding, sir. All right, so you're in Arkansas right now, right?
I am. I'm just outside Little Rock, Maumelle.
Okay, so give us your first of all, how excited are you and proud are you that your career has brought you after 36 years on Earth to the Stick and Hack Show?
I mean, this is really the pinnacle right here, isn't it?
Right. It is. So I don't know what you're going to do after this, but this is it. All right, give us your quick thoughts on the long drive. Mike and I are talking about the long drive competition. Do you watch that? Do you find that exciting?
Yeah, I actually did this year. I mean, it's stupid. Those guys are absolutely ridiculous. I made a joke to somebody. I mean, I consider myself pretty short, and I joke about it. I think I was like 130th or something in driving distance on tour, and I joke that I'm closer in ball speed to Cameron Champ than Cameron Champ is to them. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous.
All right, so you got to remember the hacks out there don't care about ball speed, but the sticks know exactly what you're talking about. That's right, Patrick.
Yeah.
All right, so you get out there in that long drive championship. Do you do anything, or do you even make a dent in that?
I mean, isn't there like a minimum to get it to the grid?
I think so. I think it is.
I mean, I think you got hit like 270 or something, but
no chance.
No, I mean, do you do anything different? I mean,
no, I don't think you do. All right, so you are a professional golfer, and you have been doing this for a long, long time, and I think it's fascinating. Mike and I were talking earlier that just the grind of a PGA professional, whether you're in the Korn Ferry Tour, whether you're in the mini tours, whether you're in the PGA, your job doesn't change. You still have to go out and play golf every single stinking day. And for us, that sounds like the dream. For most people out there, that sounds like the dream. What's the reality?
Oh gosh. I mean, the reality is, you play golf every day, but it's not, you're not out drinking with your buddies, listening to music. I mean, there's a lot of work. I mean, there's a lot of early mornings, really early mornings. A lot of time alone on the road. I was on the road. By the end of this year, I'll be on the road over 30 weeks.
Wow.
On the road.
Yeah. And that's a long week. You're Thursday through Sunday if you make the cut, right?
Yeah. I mean, your travel day is on Monday. And you make the cut, you're playing to Sunday. I mean, you're not home at all for I think I went like 8 or 9 straight weeks without even being home.
Right. How do you even pack for that? That's my question, Patrick. That's what I want to know. How the hell do you pack for that?
You just do laundry a lot. You get a lot of Walmart trips. I mean, there's just some things fortunately, me being kind of centrally located, we got a lot of Midwest events, so I was able to drive and just load the car down. And I didn't have to fly too much for the guys on the edges that are flying every week. It's just, you just pack what you need and you just do a lot of laundry.
So Patrick, walk us through your career briefly. How long have you been playing golf and how, made this your career? How long has it been?
I'm pretty much, like I said, I grew up around golf. My dad always played, was a, really good player. So I grew up around it and played junior golf, played golf at college here at the University of Arkansas, Little Rock. After college, turned pro, played mini tours for about 5 years or so. And then, just kind of wasn't making it through. Just kind of going to Cusco every year, missing out at first stage,
right.
I think I made it second stage once or twice, something like that. And just never really got any momentum. And so at that point, the money runs dry and so I ended up getting a job working as an assistant golf professional, doing teaching, working, what I call the penalty box behind the counter. That's answering phones,
we know that position very well.
Yeah.
Yes. Are there any tee times available at 8 a.m., Patrick?
Yeah. Is it raining out there? Well,
Did
you live on the 14th fairway. You tell me, so. So yeah, I did that for about 5 years, and then at that time I had some more help, and was just kind of leaning towards maybe going out and trying it one more time, and played miniatures, for another couple of years before I finally made it all the way through Q school 2 years ago and got status. So
nice.
Now, Titleist is not knocking down your door when you're 24-year-old pro. Or 19-year-old, 20-year-old pro, right? I mean, not most people. There's that few select, and not disrespectful.
There's the golden child,
right?
Yeah,
right. There's that select few where they're already on them. But for majority of the golfers that are out there that are turning pro, the sponsorship dollars are not there until you prove yourself in your performance. So you're out there, and you're staying at the Red Roof Inns. You're eating a Waffle House, which so far doesn't sound terrible. You're at those places. You're traveling the country. You're playing golf. You're living your dream, and that the next step is going to be the professional tour, and that's where the money is. At what point then did you realize rather quickly this is not as easy or as great as I thought it was going to be?
I mean, there's a lot of one moment stands out. I remember playing in Alexandria, Louisiana, and you're staying at the Motel 6 there. You're just trying to save money.
Yep.
And I remember I got woken up at like 4:30 something in the morning. The room next to me, the guy's beating on the door because apparently his wife's cheating on him with another guy. And they end up getting into a fight and like breaking the glass next door. It was luckily I teed off early. So, that was my wake up call. And it's just like, all right, let's go play golf now.
All right.
So, it's just, there's a lot of stuff like that. And it's just, and the golf's tough too. You go through patches where you don't play good and you got a lot riding on it. Your whole livelihood.
Well, that's it.
So
and you're exactly right. There. You're exactly right. Because when all amateurs play poorly, they still go home to their families. They still go to their job the next day. They'll sit in the bar for 3 hours and drink and watch the game or do whatever it is they do. They're not saying, oh, my God, I got to get on a plane or I got to get in a car. I got to drive to Lincoln, Nebraska, and then I got to go to Davenport, and then I got to end up in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And, that's not the schedule. So when you are going through that as a young man, you're probably wide-eyed. But when you get into your 30s then and you're not where you want to be, how does that affect you?
It's tough. It is. And, you just, a lot of it, you just put your head down and you try to play golf, you try to block all that out. But, when you do get that old, all of a sudden your priorities change, stuff like that. And so, you feel pulled in different directions as well. And so that's, you see that with a lot of the players, the Rorys and all that, they go through patches and, but especially when you don't have all that money, and you got more people dependent on you. That gets tougher. It doesn't get any easier. Definitely. When you're young, you go out there and you're kind of ignorant to all that. And when you're older and have experienced all that, you don't. And like in my case, the last couple of years, this may be your last chance too.
Right.
You're not 24 years old and thinking, I can do this for 10 more years.
You got your whole life ahead.
I can have one bad year and be all right, and I don't know how many more opportunities I'll get.